doing this, but I like it. I feel like I'm in a Doctor Who episode. Nobody needs to hear that. But if you want to, I can give you an entire Doctor Who rendition. So I am heading back into Minecraft now, where we're going to be doing our continuing with our renewable energy lessons. So welcome, welcome, welcome if you're with me. I haven't got my chat open quite yet. But, yeah, here we are. So our beach is still working. Whoops. We just don't know yet how we're going to make this work, because it only happens once. Unless. Still only links to one. I can't think. Oh, we got a emergency. We have a llama in the water. Get out of it. Go on. It's the water, you dafty. What does it take to kill a llama? That. So let's figure out what it is that we're trying to do. And for those of you who have just joined and perhaps have not seen what it is that we've been doing so far, we are building a renewable energies toy box. So inside this giant briefcase is a system that will tie in all of our renewable energies, which includes our tidal. Well, actually, it's not tidal, it's wave energy. You can see the waves disappearing there. So we've got the sea coming in. And actually, I think I need to make that a little bit smaller. What do you think? I think that needs to be a little bit faster. And then we've also got a hydroelectric power dam up here, which is rather large, but that's fine. We've then got a hill over the top here, which is going to be used for wind power. And then down the bottom here, we're going to have biomass. And then up here, we're going to have solar. And we're just working on it stream at a time, one stream at a time. And so here we go. Look, these wee people here, sunbathing with their away from the machine, because the machine's going to be down here. And what we've set up so far is a observer block, which recognizes a change in this block, sends a redstone pulse and gives us electricity. But we still need to work out roughly what that looks like as a sustainable energy source. So I want to do something like where are we? So I'm looking for a composter, a dispenser, and then I'm going to build the model again so we can see what it looked like. Up the top, I'm going to build a very small model which allows us to, I'm going to get leaves. Doesn't matter what kind of leaves. We're also going to have a chest, and we also need a hopper. And so the model, whoops, let me get some glass. Let's get some blue glass, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to build the model up top, and so we can see what that looks like. In fact, I'll build it on the beach. There's no sense in having it multiplied when we could just all over the place. So let's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And honestly, it actually needs to be smaller than that. This is just the model to show what it is that we built. We actually did all this. If you want to go to youtube.com/c/immersive minds, you can see where our, whoops, that's the wrong way. We can see what we've already done in the way of these. Actually, if I do, yeah, that's fine, because that's going to fill up there. And then all I really need is Yeah, that. It has to be every second one, right? Okay. Let's see what that looks like. So now I'm going to do... No. We need a dispenser there, and there. And then underneath the dispenser, we need a hopper. And underneath the hoppers, we need no, that's not right, that's feeding in. There we go. Underneath the hoppers, we need chests. No, we don't. We need composters. And it's these. Actually, I'm just, you know what? Just to show the model, I'm going to do one for the moment. Let's just do one. And this needs to have a model which is here. So let me just get the location of that. So that's 63, 38, minus 193. And the reason for that is because it's here that I'm going to put a dispenser, and then I'm going to fill it with oak leaves. Then I'm going to put, I want to do /give at p command block. Right, there we are. And then I'm going to put a command block let me try this here. No, here. And it's just going to act, it's just one, that's it. Right, okay, so then I need to do clone 63, 38, minus 193. How is everyone today anyway? If you're in with me, let me hear you. Was that 198 or 195? That was 193. There we go, it's neither. And then let's do that again. 63, 38, minus 193. And we're going to be cloning that into this space. So that space is 60, 38, minus 192. So that's 60, 38, minus 192. Okay. Nice one. Good to see Barry's in with us. Barry! Barry! Now, I am going to put a detector rail in two separate places. The first is there, and the second is there. And Robbie's in with us. Awesome. Great to see you, Robbie. Right, let's get a ordinary rail and some power rails. And some torches. You know what? We don't even need... We just need red. I keep using torches, but we could just use blocks of redstone. It's kind of like a lazy man's way of doing it. But you can do that. And that the whole thing could be power rails. It doesn't really matter, except the corners. So we could just do that. And then have power. It looks, we won't do that when we're finished, because I'm just not a fan of it in terms of its neatness. But that's generally what we're looking at. And then we're going to have, from this detector rail, we're going to have redstone that goes to there. And inside there is going to be water. I can't believe I remember all this, by the way. and that should always be filled up. So let's try this with a rail. Sorry, a cart. That's what I meant. Right, let's try this. If I take this out, oh, hang on. It's not that. That needs to remain. It's this one. Yeah, that's working. It's always going back up to 64. So that's, you see that? 63, 64, 63, 64, 63, 64. Hi, Go, how are you? And what we're ending up with is we're ending up with this, which of course we know, let's just get this right. If I get redstone, should, oh, we need a comparator, right? That old comparator problem. So let's have a look. Let's get a comparator. So that gives us not enough electricity. So then we've got enough electricity. I remember now why we did OR gates. Because then what I'm going to do is, so let's explain what's happening here. Every time it touches this detector rail, it tells this command, which is clone this location to this location, which is cloning this full of 64 leaves just being kilowatts of energy, and it's putting them there. And it's, you see that, it goes 63, 64, 63, 64. It's because it's all, every time it drops, it's getting filled up again. And the reason it's shooting out, if we just watch this for a second, you'll see that every so often smoke comes out of it and it shoots down into here. The reason for that is because this dispenser is dispensing water, i.e. our waves over here. And the waves are touching the back of these, or this, ignore these ones, this observer block. That observer block is triggering this dispenser to get rid of the kilowatts of energy, i.e. put kilowatts of energy into this hopper. The hopper then goes down into a comparator. The comparator then builds up, not a comparator, sorry, composter. The composter builds up with energy and goes to here. What I need to do, however, is I need to do something, and I think I know what I need to do. Let me just try something, and we see if this works. It makes it a lot more difficult. But let's see if we put another comparator here. Now, where was our maximum? Does anybody remember what the count was for a maximum bulb lamp? There we are. So it's there. Okay. So there, I'm going to put another command block, which basically says, I think you know what's coming. 6438 minus 193. So clone 6438 minus 193. Well, you're saying that, room 117, don't forget the slash. But if you look at this one, it's not got a slash and it's working. So I can't work out why sometimes it doesn't work if you don't put a slash and other times it does. Or am I doing something wrong? I don't know, but that one's not got a slash in it. Maybe it's got something to do with the fact that this has an arrow on it and not a... I don't know what these mean yet, and I suppose I need to learn that. In fact, let's just get that right, so it's the same one. So let's get our, so we're going to do 6438 minus 193. So clone 6438 minus 193, 6438 minus 193, and then where do we want that to go? We need that to go, it's going to be 59, so it's going to be 60, 36 minus 191. So that's going to go to 60, 36 minus 191. And that will only happen when it gets full power, which means it will replace it, and this can just continue, because it's full at the moment, which means it's building up inside of there. So I'm going to take all of this out, which means stopping the cart. Otherwise, I'm just, there we go. Let's restart this. Okay. You can do the same by putting a hopper under the composter to remove the bone meal. Yeah, we did that not yesterday, we did that the day before. But the problem with that is if you put a hopper under it, it needs a chest, and then I'd only have to do a command block to replace the chest, because either way it's got to go somewhere, whereas this way it doesn't. This way it just gets replaced by an empty composter, which is there. And then it just cycles out, just cycles and cycles out. So let's try that. Let's have an empty composter to begin with. Let's make sure that's got nothing in it. Yep. And then let's get a rail in. There we go. And what we're ending up with, there we go. So the compost is getting filled up, and it's going to take its time. We're going to get electricity quite quickly. And then we're going to, and that's good because the electricity will burn for a while. Here it comes. And when that happens, it started again. Look, it started again. I think we missed that, but it started again. And until it starts again, we end up with no electricity until we build up again. So I'm trying to think, have a think about this with me. Is that a good model for displaying that there needs to be a build-up of bio and the bio gets burned? Because let's face it, that's what happens. You throw the chips. I've seen this happen in farms. One of the farms we work in, you throw the chips into the bio chips into the bio thing, and they burn. And then when you get low energy, it disappears. Basically it's gone, and you have to start again. And it's when we start again, it's probably going to happen next one. So look, we've got a light on, and that's it. It's now gone off because that started again. And it's almost like we now need to throw it in and burn it up. Or alternatively, is it that we just have electricity immediately, and the only time it's out, I'm trying to think what would be the best model. Let me just put some in to help this out. Did I have any? Yeah. Let's just get this done a bit quicker. Whoops. And then let's see what happens when it runs out this time. So this is going to run out, this is going to go off, I think. There it goes. No electricity. Electricity back on as you fill it up. And I think that's enough. I think that's enough. Which... because what that would require is not a bulb, but what that would require, I'm just going to cut a swathe in here so we can see what that looks like, is repeaters. I think it's just a series of repeaters. I might be wrong, but I think it's just... that's it. So as soon as you've got electricity, you just get a series of repeaters that automatically give you a bulb however far away you want to be. Because remember, or a repeater, and then redstone. Because remember, a repeater will give us a boost automatically. So let's test that out again. As soon as this fills up, we should see, let me get rid of that so we can see, we should see a drop in our signal. Here it comes. There. Drop in signal and immediately back on. And if we had enough of these all attached to an OR gate, it would mean that at no point, as long as we were getting enough wave power, because this isn't about biomass, this is about wave. As long as there were waves, there was energy. And it might be that, so we would just have to build a number of these. What about sticky pistons from the observation blocks to model the movement created by the waves that produce? Yeah, so you could do that. So in another model, let's just get rid of that. What we could do is we could create sticky pistons. And it keeps doing that because of that. Right, I'll tell you what, we'll get rid of that. We can always put that back because the command's still running. Oh, it doesn't reach the third one. Look at that. It would with this though, right? That's the thing, is that down here, we would just have a wave machine. See, the other problem we've got is that this has to work above. So the waves have to come into the observer blocks, which would set, there's no point in having them there. Actually, that's not a bad place to have it, because then you get your little trigger, you see? We're going to get trigger, trigger, trigger. So maybe we have them all the way along this beach, remove these rocks, and have them where we know the waves are strongest, which in our case would be, let's get rid of that one, see what happens with this now. Right, so this could be our wave machine. And then we just build a kind of a machine round it, like a factory round it, which then pumps the electricity through an AND gate and up that hill. I think we're onto something. So let's look at what that looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now what we should see is, we should see a wave formation. That's it. I mean, you can see it with the water anyway, but there we go. Light, 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 light. That is lovely. That's lovely, right? Okay. My head's melting with this. We need to take this one step at a time. Because what I'm going to have to do yeah, exactly. You're right. So technically what we could do as a true model, I mean, you could assume that the moving parts are inside there. I mean, you could say this observer block has moving parts, which then generates the electricity, which then sends the electricity outwards. But you're right. If we wanted to use sticky pistons, you would do that. And then on those sticky pistons, you would attach these. These are our generators, if you like. And then from there, you would have a dispenser. It's just getting a bit messy, isn't it? It's getting a bit heavy. As Snap said in the 1980s. And so, and it's that. Let's just fire an electricity out into our hoppers, into our, but then I don't know if we need, I'm wondering if we've just got enough of them I want to show you something else I discovered and just see if this is possible to make. I don't know if it is. And I need to go to a different world to find it. It's something I made years ago and could never work out what to do with. So maybe this is where it comes in. That's it. So this little model here with its comparator, remember a comparator can tell when something is moved, changed, and therefore it reads that. And I don't know why, but if you put an arrow, so we're just basically going to get this. This is basically, let me do a clear. This was a model that I used for showing children what it would be like to have enough power if you had to turn it up to get enough power to power something, like volume on a radio, or in this case, power for a city grid. So if we do a frame, and an arrow is the easiest way to show it, and we put the frame on here, then we have a comparator on the other side, and we have a grid system. You know, this is downtown Detroit, this is East Detroit, West Detroit, North Detroit, commercial, industrial and residential zones of Detroit. What you can do is you can put an arrow in there and you can say, if we give it this much electricity, this happens. This much, we get that. If we crank it all the way up, we get all of our city grid is lit up. In fact, no, it's not. Only the residential areas aren't. And it just means that we have a gauge, switch all off, we have a gauge for power. My only thing is, I don't know how else to make this happen. Let me try something. Let me leave the arrow in there. Is there a way of making that arrow operate automatically? Barry, we're actually doing the wave. What we're trying to do is we're trying to show that as waves come in, so we need to think about this. We're trying to show that as waves come in, it's that movement of the wave that generates electricity, which is then compiled, i.e. that's why you need so many wind farms or so many generators in the waves to create wattage, and it's that wattage that's passed to the grid. Once it's on the grid, it moves to the, we just need to get it onto the grid. That's all we're trying to show, is we can generate it using the waves in and the waves out. I'm doing this with my hands, by the way. And then it's at that point we can then say, right, we got an electrical pulse which created a so actually all we need to know is that the waves are working. It's when the waves stop working. It's if we switch the waves off, we lose it. It's not about how many waves we've got. It's about if we have waves at all. And I want it to be well, yeah, I mean, I'd love it if we could switch. What we could do is we could make the track longer and we could have waves. We could have periods of no waves and periods of lots of waves using different minecarts. But the problem I'm now faced with is what if we have, what happened, how do we get it to not do anything with no waves? In the meantime, let me just try something else at this point. Let me try. I don't suppose that works. No, that's worked. No, that hasn't worked. Okay, that's fine. I want to know if this, I want to know if this can be automated. No. No, it doesn't have any impact on that at all, of course. I mean, we could try front on, but I doubt it. No. So that, while that's great for turning manually, I have got an idea of where this can be used though. What if all we had to do was get electricity to this? This was our generator. We could get electricity to this, and then the kids could decide to switch on the power to 1 or 5 houses. We'd still need to know how much electricity we had. No, 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 no. What if that was a composter with an item frame on the side, and then filled with leaves, and then turned off? No. No, I thought that might have been able to make that switchable, which would have been amazing. Manually, you could switch the electricity off, but it doesn't. Oh, hang on. Right, okay. No, 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 do keep thinking out loud, Barry. It's intermittent now because of the way the waves work. You're right. Is that a fire in the distance? No. No. What if... Actually, I'm going to have to do that. What if we did that? So we know that works, right? And then that creates dispenser here full of leaves, which we can have replaced. And that's not doing anything anyway. Although what we've effectively got if we do this, ladies and gentlemen, is frame is one of those things you get at museums where you have to turn it and it shows you how you can light a light bulb up. Have you got one of those in your National Museum? We do. And you can like turn it, and it's really hard to turn, but when you turn it, it shows that so that's your generator, that's your turbine. But it doesn't work automated. You can't automate it. It's a dynamo, right? That's your dynamo. And the kids would have to turn it, because here's the thing, we would take those lights away, and what we would do is we would put dispensers in. This is how we would create a dynamo. And then underneath the dispensers we would put a hot... This is getting ridiculous now, but And then underneath those, would be a composter. This is another machine altogether. How do we end up doing this? And then we're going to get ourselves some, we've already got redstone, which is great, but we need comparators. So we need, oops, comparator, 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 comparator. And then redstone, whoops. This is going to be super tough. And then we're going to need a lamp. Actually, you know what? We'll just fill in the last one. And then we'll put the lamp, which I've now got rid of. Whew, this is going to be tough, and whether or not it works, I have no idea. But we've basically extended the dynamo using the same engine that we've used before. And now what we should do is we should fill these with leaves. I've been disconnected from chat, so if anybody's chatting with me, I'm just going to try and reset it, but I'm not sure I'll get it. This has been happening intermittently with Restream.io. Go in there, shift, in there, shift. Oops. Right, we'll see if that lets me back. Okay, so what we're now going to try and do, we basically built a dynamo. So now what I need to do is, and it's some, oh, there we got our first light on. Our second light should be, how come that one worked so quickly? And that one's less powerful. That one's, oh look, that one's come on. That's not even working in order. How is that possible? Oh yeah, we got it. Oh, I know why. It's because they don't all fill up at the same, there we are. They don't all fill up at the same, sometimes I think the composters are random. Wow, that was crazy. Right, let's just get rid of that. Oops. I can't get rid of that. We're definitely onto something though. Don't you think? There we go. Now we got it. And at the very, very end, you reckon another energy source has to go in the toy box for sure. Man, we've ended up doing a dynamo. So what is that? I mean, what do you call? I mean, I know it's a dynamo, but what sort of sustainable energy is that? Is that, well, human energy? Is that organic? What do you call that? In terms of, like, you know, tidal, hydro, human resource, what bikes? Robbie, I could. We actually thought about that the other day as well. We thought about having a thing that just empties it every so often automatically, which then, or like we did in the other world, we have a command block which gets rid of it. And just resets it. I think we're onto something. I need to go back to my original world. Whoops. I need to go back to our tidal world and just think about it. It's a funny thing that's happening because I can see it, but I can't see how. I didn't put leaves in any of those other ones, but you get the idea. Ah, but it's just enough leaves. So actually, Barry, that there is what we need. Except we don't need, I mean, to show the workings of how that would work, yeah. We need the pistons. I can leave that. And then what we can do is we can have it built so that it's here. Let me just... And then I'm just going to take away these for the moment. Because then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a command block beside each one of these, actually. Because each one's going to have its own command, right? And each one's going to have its own... So basically, when this redstone block, it does two things. It ejects that and makes that happen. Makes that command block do whatever I program it to do. There we are. And then that one would have to have its own there. Let's just try that. I'm going to do TP at P to 0, 0, 0. Okay, ready? That's not going to work. It's not going to work because it's not at P. There is no at P in there. So TP at that's because it's in capitals. Let me get rid of that. So cat / TP. No, let me try that now. No, that still doesn't work. I didn't think so. Oh, it did. Oh, I didn't want that. Oh no, and now I can't fix it. Oh no, I'll not be able to fix this. Because as soon as I get near it, it will tick again. Oh no! Right, okay, hang on, we need to try this. / TP at P. Yeah. Wow, yeah, but how do I... Hang on, I'm going to try this anyway just because I'm bullheaded. 38 minus 193. Get me over there. Ah, I just about destroyed it. Let's do that again. This is fun. Oh no! Right, okay. Ah! Okay. I got to get it this time. Get out of there. Oh, right, we did it. Whew. Is that what you do? Try for... Oh, hey! Neverard! Where have you been? I haven't seen you in forever. Quietly watching me on Twitch there. Man, I was sweating. I was actually physically sweating there because I'm like, I just, like Doctor Who style, I've just thrown myself into some crazy universe that I can't get back out of. Right, that's fine. Okay, so let's take this command out before it goes horribly wrong again, but that's going to work. So that makes command blocks work. Right, so we would want this to be, and all of them just have to be the same. We only need one of those hidden somewhere, and we can have that hidden like there, full of that, which is fine. And then we'll get our whoops, we'll get that. So let's just write this down. 7735 minus 150. Oh, brilliant. Wonderful, Neverard. I'm really glad to hear that. What are you doing as a full-time job? And modeling for Minecraft is fab. When you say modeling for Minecraft, talk to me about that. I'm interested in that. Are you on the marketplace, or are you doing Java? Let me have a look. So I'm just going to put that in there and fill it with leaves. Then I'm going to tell this to do clone 7735 minus 150. 7735 minus 150 to, and we want it to be there, so we're just gonna, what is that? So it's 73 36 35, always 35 minus 149. Yeah, I love Blockbench. We did a Blockbench thing the other day just for skins, but Blockbench is fantastic. We've made some amazing stuff in it. That's fab. PM me. I might need your services. Genuinely. If you're for hire, I mean. So I'll go into here and I'm going to do 73 35 minus 149. That should get replaced in a minute with 64. Oh no, only if I have that one. Yeah, there we are, back to 64. So that will always work. Now, what I can do is I can just make sure that I've got that. What's that? 73146. So we're just going to go from 146, 3, so I'm just working backwards now. So what I'm going to do is copy this. But this one has to be, what did I say that was? It was 146. That's all we're doing is changing that one coordinate. 143. 140. speak on my Twitter. Right. 37. 34. 31. So, Barry, who suggested he wanted sticky pistons to see the movement of the waves, has now commented, I'm not sure you need all this. Don't make me drive to Wales, Barry. The pistons model the movement which generates electricity. If touching redstone will be the redstone block charge. Charge it when touching, that's all you need. Yeah. Oh, if I could grab that beard. Yeah, you mean like... you mean like this? Oops. Unbelievable. You do make me laugh, Barry. Right. But yes, this is just, you know what, I like, this is probably way more complicated than it needs to be, but let's see if this works. We should end up with green going everywhere now. Yay! And the green, of course, is the wattage, which is then going to go in to... So this is our machine generating electricity, the leaves being wattage. And we should never run out of that because it always gets renewed from a single location. So Neverard, what do you think? Is this, I mean, since last we met, which was a long time ago, I think you were part of our original archaeological dig, like 8 years ago or something. But we've come on leaps and bounds, eh? Right, let me see what's going on here. So that produces electricity. Whoops, in the form of... Okay, which then means... I'm going to clear all this up now. Which then means it certainly is growing. It could grow faster. It could definitely be a faster growing product for Microsoft. And I mean that there's more could be done with it in schools that I think schools realise and still don't realise and haven't fully grasped what's possible. But that is something that we're working on. Whoops. Whoa. Okay. And so we are going to have a hopper. Oops, that's what I get for trying to be smart. Look at that. I'm lazy. And then underneath the hopper, we're going to have a composter. I did one too much. For those of you who have been with me for the last few weeks while we've been doing this in lockdown, Neverard, who's watching on Twitch, Neverard DZN, supported us in our very, very, very early days of Minecraft and education, when there was no Minecraft and education and we just did Java, and we made all this happen in Java, and everyone thought we were bonkers, and people that came on our stream were like, I'm sorry, you're doing what? And of course now it's a thing, and hence Neverard's comment about how it's growing into an actual thing. Okay, then we're going to have, now what we then need to do is link all of this to an OR gate, and I can't remember what an OR gate looked like, so I'm going to Google OR gate. Just redstone, Barry, you reckon? Yeah, I don't need it to be. The only reason I'm saying just redstone is what happens when there is no wave power? What happens with calm seas? Or is that not how the technology works? I mean, somebody Google that for me, would you? How does wave energy work? I mean, it has to be, is it that you generally always get ocean current, and therefore, because technically this is meant to be underwater, let's face it, but we couldn't do that in Minecraft. So is it that you just create, you always get some degree of energy and there's a constant, and then when you get bigger waves you get more energy? Or is it that you kind of need big waves to get energy, otherwise you don't generate? I mean, I don't know. So is that how that works? So if that's the case, then Barry, all we would need is oh, we need comparators. Oh, I keep forgetting comparators, right? I'm a nightmare. And therefore that's at the wrong space and timing, because this needs to go there. That's my redstone piece in there. Yeah. If there's a motion, energy is produced. Generally anything, thanks. Okay, so in that case, we don't need to worry about having, as long as the waves are working. So I basically overcomplicated this. There's a surprise. And then a comparator. I'm not sure though. See, that's not going to work. It has to be, there has to be an OR gate. And the reason for that is because this one here will automatically, like I'll show you, if I get leaves, there has to be a separation. There has to be a separation of energy between, oh, maybe there doesn't. See, as soon as I fill that up, we've got power that stretches from there to there. That's not a bad thing though, is it? Because what we can then do is we can create, what does that do? That goes from the second one in. Where we would then have the center one. So what's that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So it's the fourth one that's the center there, and that is where our piece goes in. And so, and these ones are in, No, I think that has to do that. Otherwise, there's no need for that. And then we'll need some repeaters, right? So I'm going to put a repeater there. Oh no, you can't. You can't put a repeater at the top of a hill. So I'm going to need repeaters to be there. No, 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 no. I am going to have to do... We're going to have to flatten the beach because repeaters are key. But they can't, the repeaters can't give one an advantage over another. Like that would be an advantage for one over another. So I'm just going to take that out. That's it. And then our repeater is here. What a machine. I don't even know what's going on. And that one. And then what I need is I need a command block that resets this whole row. Or a chain of command blocks that sets the whole row. So let me just get rid of that. So how do I'm just going to put this back in. And then a comparator. And then a lamp. Yeah, so basically let's test this because it's this final piece that's going to take our... And then we just need to build that uphill then, and that's easy. So we're going to put that there. And then... And the idea is that if any one of these goes down, the others will continue the power. So if something goes wrong with the machinery, you've got enough. I see. Okay, so let's just... So now we just need to kind of make that happen. Let's just watch as it happens. Oh. It's working, right? No. What am I doing wrong? Why is that not filling up the comparators? Oh, I know. Right, so hang on. Let's just get rid of... I know why. The comparators were facing inwards because of the way I built them. That's it. I'd put the comparators on wrong. See how there's not a third little bit there that there is there? So the comparators need to face directly into the composters. You've got nowhere to dump them otherwise. That's it. Whew. Right, okay, so let's do this again. Well, you're saying for a while, let's just check this out, because for a while, with enough movement, yes, but how do we then, I suppose I'm just going to have to put in a resetting, 1, 2, 3, 4, there we go. So let's do that now, right, I can see them all filled up now, except that one. I'll need to give that one a wee head start. There we are. Okay, so we've got light. And that light will just continue until we clear until we clear it. And I want an easy way of clearing it. And an easy way of clearing it might be that we just literally clone this. We find out how to take this whole area and we press a button and it clones the machine. That's it. Like maybe that's all we do. So when you go down and you pull the button, it clones everything into a brand new machine and we wait for the tide to start again. What do you think? It's probably way more complex than we needed it to be, but what we can now do is we can build stone. It just means we can build a building around it. That's not true, it needs to be there. That'll do. And that becomes our wave generator. And then this is where our factory ends. Because it's here that we're going to go up the cliff using our electric, like I'll actually make it go into the cliff and up, so it'll end up coming out of here. It'll probably come out, where's that line? It'll come out here, and then that'll be our little generator, which then passes it to the AND gate or the OR gate, whichever we decide to use. Slight over design, right? But does the job. Because really all I needed was anyway, I'm quite happy with that. Just cut this out so we can see what we're doing here from the inside. It doesn't have to be neat. There we go. And then we'll get ourselves some slabs. You like that, Raja? A good machine, clean energy. Says Barry the Beard. I think the reason we were looking at OR gates was I wanted to show what happens if either one of the composters didn't work or something. I think I was trying to get the idea across that we have to have fail safes, and so the OR gates were going to be, I'm going to have to set this up as a ticking area as well, remember? I need to set that up as a ticking area, otherwise I'll fly away and this will stop working. There has to be a better design for that, incidentally, but for the moment, who would set up camp there? Like, really? So let me set this up as a ticking area then from here. So our ticking area is going to be 6634 minus 130. And then I'll do, it's not really important because this is where the machine's going to be. It's going to go into into there. That's ugly now, eh, on that beach. We had such an amazing beach, and now that's just ugly. But anyway, what I could have done was moved it one back, moved the whole thing one back. I might do that with MCEdit, just move it one back and it just doesn't leave these little gaps. I quite like that though, it maybe actually just shows exactly what's going on from the outside. There we go. And then that's going to go in, and so let me just get that right. We're just going to stick to this here. Where did I already say it was? Ah, it's here, look. So we're going to go down to 3635. There we are. Oh, bang on. Ding. Okay. And then I'm going to have to chop out this. And then I'm just for building purposes, I'm going to have to chop this away. And also this. Okay, which then means it's not actually that important, but it kind of is to me that this at least relatively looks as if it was made properly. And I can put lights along this for people that come in and want to see what, in fact, what I'll do is I'll carve this out as well, which means we'll end up with like a path that you can walk into with lights. We'll have lights in there like every so on. Right, let's get ourselves some glowstones, and we'll do one there. There we are. We are then going to take this all the way in to, yep, there. And then we'll need another. And that's going to take us up to we just need to build. Remember I showed you how redstone goes uphill? If anybody has another way of doing this, please let me know. I don't know how else to get redstone uphill. It's easier just to do that all the way up. So I subscribed to Disney Plus. So here's my little rant for the night. I saw it the other day on my smart TV and I thought, Disney Plus, I'm stuck in the house. I like a wee break now and again. I just finished Ozark, which by the way, blows my mind. The writing is just unbelievable. But I think I'm going to leave that. Actually, that's the last one. There we are. And then, so I just finished Ozark, and I thought I'll check out Disney Plus. Now, whether you agree or not, of course, is a matter of opinion. But I am a huge fan of all of the Pirates of the Caribbean. I just love the universe. I just love it. And so I'm like, yes, all of the Pirates of the Caribbean are on there. Tron is my all-time favourite universe, fantasy universe ever. So Tron Legacy, and the Tron cartoon series is all on there. So you can get that. So I'm just basking in Tron, which is amazing. But then I thought, and of course, The Mandalorian. And I went on to The Mandalorian, and there's 4 episodes of 8. And it's been out for months and months. What is going on? Am I missing? Like, am I doing something wrong? It's like, why is there only 4 episodes? So I'd already seen episodes 1, 2, and 3. So I watched 4, and then that's it. I'm kind of like, wow. But I know there's 8 because I know someone who's seen and got all 8. And so I'm like, I don't understand. Right. Oops. Which means I'm going to put my little lamp in. Oh, I've already got a lamp. There we are. There we are. There's our electricity. What I do need to do though is do my ticking area, which was up to here, wasn't it? So let's do a ticking area, which was 65, 34 minus 151. Nope. It was the opposite side. It's here. So it's 77. $38 minus 151. That's it. Trying to work out what to do with this bit. I think I'll have a door in there. And then we'll have a door in there. That's it. Okay. So get kind of heavy. I can get rid of all of that in a second. But what I'm then going to do is I'm going to do a clone command block. Oh, I need to get this right. I need to get this right. So I'm going to test it outside. But in the meantime, I want to have down here by the door in the wall, I want to have a command block Okay. And then inside that command block, I'm going to do clone, and then we're going to clone pretty much the same as the ticking area, except I want to go a bit lower. I want to do 30. So that's ticking. Clone is 32. So I want to do the same as the ticking area, but instead it's going to be clone 66, 32 minus 130 to 77, 38, no 39 minus 151 into, and this is where I'm going to go and find out exactly where I can clone this into and which angle. So now we're doing, remember that thing we did before where I said to you that you have to orientate. So now we have to orientate our clone and work out where it's coming into and in from. And so to do that, I need to find myself a place that's going to be big enough not to cause any destruction. Big enough and further away, far enough away. And then I am going to get these and get rid of them. I needed to get rid of that, so I'm going to take a cart there we go, and of course we still have electricity. See, this is where I was going with this Baramok. We don't have wave power anymore. Let's just imagine somebody built a dam, I don't know, and we somehow are still getting electricity from a machine that's not working anymore, which is not, if you're doing models for kids, is not right. And so my thoughts on this are, bear with me for a second, but we have a command block which clones but then if the composters aren't there, I hear you, because Baramox then just said, but that's why I was saying the composters are not needed. But if the composters weren't there, we would just have redstone that intermittently gave us power up here. It would just be like power, 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 power. So let's go down and try that before I do anything. If I take the composters away, and then we let's just really quickly have redstone that does that. I suppose because we're putting it into an AND gate at the end, aren't we? Wouldn't be simple to replace the composter with another hopper, which would then do what? What would that do? Never. I don't know what that would do, because we'd have a hopper on top of each other, right? So that's our timed. So there we go. So we've got a bit of power. And then we've got, yeah, we only get one. And you know why that is? It's only, but yeah, it's not giving us like a, it's not even giving us a, it's not even giving us a consistent power. See, all that wave power and we're getting one blip, and that's because we're using observer blocks. Yeah, so now we're reading waves with redstone. Which is really not, well, it is actually what we want to do, but we want to generate electricity. So this is why I was doing the, because remember, the whole point of the plant going into the composter is that the plant is the build-up of energy. It's like that, it's like the motion. It's like you don't just get a burst of energy from a wave, you get a build-up like that. Almost like a dynamo, you get that, which builds up. And so what I was trying to do, was create that build-up using the composters, which then gives us a nice piece. But you're right, a reset button, which is what I was doing earlier. So I tell you what, I have a theory. Stick with me while I make this theory happen. And because otherwise I don't know how else we're going to do it. I think I've got a theory. I've got this idea forming in my head. Name that film. Nobody named the film last time I said it. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant movie. Composter. So in this case, we still want the buildup of energy, and that's going to happen because these are now stuck with as much of that stuff as we can get. But you're right, the reset button, which is what I was doing earlier, is, and it needs to be a regular reset button. It needs to happen regularly, so we need another rail. And so I'm going to take this here, and that's going to be, let me just get this, that's going to be 9362 minus 285. I could have done it just up in the sky, but then I don't want sand to fall. Oh, yeah. The sand will fall out the bottom, but that's okay. Right, which might get rid of some of the redstone. That's okay, let's try it. See what happens. So 9362 minus 285. You know what, let's just do 60 because I think there's stone under there. Minus 285. And then a button. Right. Ah, the sand fell away, look, which then means my redstone falls away. Okay. And why is he there? That's weird. I'll fix that one. And where was that? So hang on, where's my original 93, which was 93, which was this one. 62, which is that one. So 63, so that's 62. So that basically cloned this way. So I can now work out where to make that clone, and it was at rock level. Basically, that's the one above. But I need to solidify the bottom of the thing. And you know the best way to do that? Save and exit. Hang on. Is to wait for that to happen. And do it in Save and exit. Okay, minimize that. MCEdit. We're going to go into our machine. Where is it? That's not it, that's the tunnel. There's our machine there, right? And we're going to take all of that to there. And then we're going to do that. And we're going to say replace. No. Sand with stone. When we go back in here, we should have a stone base. Good. Right, everything is stone and everything should still be there because it's just on a straight replace. Yeah? Okay, file, save, quit. And then almost there, folks. We've almost got this. Hang on a second. Somebody just screamed. You okay? You sure? You alright? Okay. Okay. We're good. Irregular interruption. Okay. So let's try this. Okay. So we can just replace that later. We've still got the command block in place. So if I go back and our light is now on because we've filled them back up, except, what have I done? Why are they sitting there? There we are, that one all fine. Okay, I've sent you a picture on Twitter regarding what loss and how to visualize it. Excellent, thank you. I will check that out. I'm actually going to stop the stream shortly, but we'll bounce back to that tomorrow morning at 12. Let's try this then. So let's see. There we are. Look, that's better. So that's given us what we needed in the way of a reset, plus I know where it is. Oh, no, that won't work. Because it'll take, you can see that it's taken active, so that reset's not going to work. Oh, I need to think about this. We're getting there. I'm loving this. I'm loving this whole if-then problem-solving stuff. I feel like we've killed our beach. And the wee guy selling stuff here is just like, hey man, I can't get off this beach. But I feel like we're almost there. So I'm going to stop that and I'm going to check out the tweet that's just come through. Try something like this. It will drop watts when there will be no wave input. Oh, so you actually... Right. Right, we're going to do this tomorrow. So Neri has sent me a picture of something that works. I realise now when he said put another hopper underneath, he was trying to tell me it will drop wattage when there's no wave input. So I will build this tonight and test it, and tomorrow morning we will put it into play and I'll show the stream. Thanks, Neri. That's amazing. That is what I need. So I will. I'll drop the stream for tonight. I need to go and eat. But thank you so much to everyone for coming in and watching. Again, loving it. We're gonna make this happen. We're gonna have our wave generator. We're gonna have our hydropower generator. We're gonna have wind power over here, and it's gonna take us many days to do. But we're gonna do it together. We're gonna think it through, just like we did today, with the help of people online. And every so often Barry's going to stick his neb in and just, throw everyone off. And I'm only joking, Barry, I'm joking. But we're all going to have fun, right? So I will speak to you. I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. Take care, stay safe, stay indoors, stay healthy, and stay sane. Bye, everyone.